Patriots, time is running out. In less than a minute, we expose the truth on the Conservative Viewpoint's emergency broadcast system. Stay tuned.
Welcome, everyone, to the Throwback Thursday edition of the Conservative Viewpoint. It is 7 p.m. here on the East Coast, and I caught me typing. And tonight we are cutting through the noise to bring you the truth that the mainstream media is too afraid to touch. Tonight's main event is the massive breaking news out of the G7 summit, where President Trump has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Iranian aiming to end the war in West Asia. The deal is set to include the following topics: economic relief. The U.S. will issue waivers for exporting Iranian oil, petroleum, derivatives, along with associated banking and insurance services. Now, on freezing the assets, you're going to see this, you're going to hear this later on, that the people are freaking out about. The U.S. will make Iran's frozen funds and assets available upon implementation, or better said, when they prove themselves to honor the agreement. They're not getting this right away. We're not Obama. We're not the Democrats. We're not Biden. We just don't give them stuff. They may never get it. Next, the reconstruction plan. People are freaking out about this too. The agreement outlines a plan alongside regional partners and $300 billion in reconstruction and economic development for Iran. But not for us. We're not paying a dime. And lastly, the path forward. We are now in a 60-day clock to negotiate a final permanent deal, with initial implementation talks scheduled to begin in Switzerland tomorrow. So we're also going to be covering the reach of the state is hitting back against the establishment. We've seen the FBI targeting Soros-backed groups like the Ohio Organization Collaborative as part of a broadening fraud probe. Meanwhile, the Department of Justice has indicted the Southern Poverty Law Center for massive wire fraud, money laundering schemes, alleged funneling donor money to extremist groups for years. Accountability is finally coming to those who thought they were above the law. And we'll see about that, right? Next, we were also keeping our focus on the reality of group-based child exportation schedules. Oh, yes, that have been plagued communities for years. While the media tries to bury these stories, the facts about the victimization of vulnerable girls by organized grooming gangs like the Muslims remain a stain on our society that we cannot and will not ignore. Folks, I know it's a lot to process, but that's why after we run through these news updates, we're doing something special. We are hitting the ground and hitting the rewind button and traveling back in time. We got some incredible classic nostalgic footage lined up for you guys tonight, so we can all just take a breath, relax, and have some fun together. So stick around. You don't want to miss a single second of this Throwback Thursday edition of the Conservative Viewpoint. And it starts right now. Hi, everyone, and welcome to, yes, it is Throwback Thursday. It is my favorite time of the week. It is, guys. To put on a show like this, I just love it. It's time to chill, relax, and just have a great time remembering the good old days. And that's what we're going to do here later on as soon as we get through all this stuff. And it's a shame we got to go through all this stuff, but it's necessary. Yeah, that would be nice, Sean. Anyways, guys, welcome to the show. It's lovely to see you guys. Anyone new to this show, welcome. Too bad you got here a little late, huh? So anyways, don't forget to come in and say hi if you're in there. If you're new to the show, say hi so we can give you a shout out. Let me get over here and I get my multi-stream chat up here. Make sure people can see us there. So, hey guys, welcome again to the show. Let's give some shout outs because we got a lot of stuff going on here. We got Texas Tammy starting us off tonight, and we got Kurt from the Bayou in here, guys, tonight. Welcome, guys. I know Tammy's got to leave early. The guy's got a early game tonight. I'm just glad she stopped by. So we've got Shell. I know started us off right when the show started up there. Shell's right there. Hi, Shell. And we got Radical Red Sean Justice and Conrad. Conrad, what's going on, man? Man, everybody's in here. Texas Red, there she is. Hi, Texas Red. Joe. There's Joe Public himself right there. Welcome, Joe. How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah, we got to start a group chat on Getter. That would be good. That would be good. That would work. So anyways, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to get through all of this as quick as possible so I don't bore you guys to death. But this is my, hey, FGS. You are in the right place right here. Yes, you are. Because we're going to get started because we got a lot of articles I just added not but a half hour ago. So you're going to want to see them. But first off, I want to show you this. And let me find the screen right here. The first article we're going over to is about the America's time capsule. And it already has been sealed. And there it is right there. For the next 250 years. This is America's time capsule that's not going to be open, and there's none of us going to be alive to see it. So that's it right there. And America 250 has announced that American time capsule has been sealed, will be buried on July 4th to be reopened in 250 years. The capsule contains items and contributions from 3 branches of government, all 50 states, Washington, D.C., 5 U.S. territories, and other partners and institutions, noted by the American 250 organization. They were tasked by Congress to lead the celebration of 250 years of American independence. These items preserved within America's time capsule includes letters, records, objects selected to help tell the story of the United States at the semi-quincentennial, the organization stated. Among the myriad of items included in this 900-pound stainless steel capsule are digital copies of molecular data storage device of historic items, including Thomas Jefferson's rough draft of the Declaration of Independence and handwritten lyrics by Francis Scott Key of the Star-Spangled Banner. The cylinder, which was sealed last week, will be buried at Independence National Historical Park in Philadelphia to await its reopening in the year 2276. I don't think I'm going to be ready for that one. So stay informed, receive breaks. Stay informed. You're going to stay informed. 250 years, we're going to open that up. I hope you guys were healthy enough to stay up for that one. So that's what's going to be happening now. To keep that in mind, I am going to show you this. This was sent to me by Texas Red today. And you were going to see the brand new Air Force One that takes over as soon as Trump lands back in here. That one that he's riding in took its last trip to Iran. And here is the new one, thanks to Texas Red. Whoops. I hope you guys see that. Why isn't it on screen? Oh, there it is. Look at that magnificent beast right there. You did get a good look at it because I didn't hit share screen. Right? Look at that. Now that, I'm going to play it one more time at the beginning so you guys can see the side of it. Look at that. That is the new one right there, baby. Isn't that pretty? That's right. That's Air Force One. That's Trump's new plane right there. Awesome, right? Thank you, Texas Red, for that. That was awesome. I did not know about that. I knew that plane was coming. I just didn't know how soon it was ready to come out. But let me take the share screen off real quick because I don't think I have another share screen coming up. I'm not sure about that. But you never know. But moving on, guys. The White House, the UFC terror plot ringleader was, of course, if you didn't hear today, an illegal immigrant from Mexico. Yes, just another one of Democrats' bullshit. This guy was approved through the DACA program and he overstayed his visa, but allowed to stay in here from no other than the racist pig himself, Barack Obama. Yes, sir, heard me right. His piece of shit let his guy stay in here, and now they were planning these attacks. And I showed you yesterday, or I don't even know if I showed. No, I didn't show you the picture of these guys, but there's two from California. There was there was Idaho and somebody else, and Ohio. Oh yeah, and this bitch from Mexico was the ringleader behind all this stuff. So they taking care of him too. But there was a lot more that they were talking on chat, and I don't know if it was Signal or where they were talking at again, but there was a lot more that they're going to be questioning. So arrest them all. Be done with it. It's terrorism. No matter if you were planning it, you talking about it, it's still terrorism. DACA is caca. Got that right, Red. That was a great thing. All right. Hey, Kurt from the Bayou. Gotta love that Bayou. I got to get down. Even though the show's not going, if I get out and about, we get diesel prices down. I am going out to see people from the show. So, well, guys, we'll definitely let you know if prices get down to where I can do it. And if I have time after the gym opens, I hope it gets open here within the next few months. I got a lot of work to do, guys. It's not very easy. So don't forget, you can still email me at conservativeviewpoint@yahoo.com if you want my cell phone number to keep in touch. My personal cell phone number. I will give it to you. So in case you want to know what's going on, but you will see it when I do some live streams from the business once I get moving, and we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it works. I'm hoping it goes and does well. That's my only fear right now. So I don't fear much, but that I do. All right, U.S. and Iran signed a deal ahead of schedule. Now, guys, with this being said, this is not laid in stone. This is not even the deal yet. People are freaking out over this, and the deal's not done, right? So, remember what we have said in the past. You cannot, oh, you know that, Tammy, but you cannot trust a Muslim. I don't care who they are. It's a Muslim, they are taught to lie. They hate us. It's as simple as that. I've told you that before. They will lie to you straight to your face, and they will tell you the truth straight to your face, just like I've told you about the guy at the prison. He told me the fact. He had nothing to lose. He was a murderer anyway. And he was in prison for murder the rest of his life. He has nothing to lose. And he told me straight up. Exactly, Red. It was a memorandum that is not a deal. And I don't care if they even do a deal. Trump this is a great deal. And there's been 47 years of deals made with these Iranian Muslim liars. And every single one of them, they didn't give a shit about it. They broke every deal that they've made in 47 years worth of presidents in this country that made deals with these people, and they've broken every deal. So even though Trump's got a good deal on the table, doesn't mean they're not going to break it. They can sign their name. They can sign their rag top on there. Well, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't mean they're going to keep it. John, what's happening, John? It doesn't mean they're going to keep the promises. They're not going to defy this thing. They are. It is a fact. It's a proven 47 years worth of facts. The piece of shit deal that Obama and Biden put in there. They broke it because they were only supposed to have a few nuclear weapons and a few centrifuges because of Obama was giving them all their billions of dollars and everything back. No, this is a no nukes deal, period. And if it doesn't work, I'm telling you, mark my word that this is going to happen, even if the show's not on here, but they will break it. I guarantee it. Hi, Dottie. So the Trump administration unveiled sweeping terms of proposed Iran agreement. A lot of it was what we were talking about. And let me find it here real quick. I had a better one than this on here earlier. But they outlined the content of its new memorandum of understanding. That's the MOU that they signed. Receiving plans immediate waivers on oil exports, a framework for at least $300 billion in reconstruction, which we are not paying a dime for. He said that straight out. Economic development and a 60-day negotiation period aiming to secure a final agreement on Iran's nuclear program. You heard it there. This is not a deal. This is just the start of a deal. And it's supposed, and so far, of course, Iran has not bombed anybody or anything like that, and they shouldn't. But supposedly they're decimated, right? But they've had enough bombs to start bombing other people. So all these stuff that you're hearing about this stuff, none of it's set in stone. None of it's going to happen. Yes, they've opened the Strait up to tankers. No, Iran is not allowing a toll because it's illegal by international law that they're not allowed to put tolls on. They were putting that $1 million per tanker and stuff in there to get in there. That's illegal. They stopped that. There is nothing, no extra money into it for them. We are not releasing any funds. We're not releasing sanctions until they prove to honor this agreement. How long is that going to take? How long are you going to wait for them to prove it? They've waited years before, and they've done nothing. They're going to wait till the minute that you relieve sanction, you relieve funds, and they're going to do it. They're already promising Hezbollah money, which they have none. They are totally shit broke. Oh, yes, the dust in my pocket's got more money than they have right now. They are dead broke, but they are promising Hezbollah money. So, you all know who Hezbollah is. Terrorists. So how are you promising terrorists money when you have no money, right? So that's got to be an eye-opener for you guys right there. They are lying pieces of shit, and they will break it. I'm telling you. Yes, the Raging Cajun is over here. Yes, sir, Bob. All right, so Trump blasts Iranian deal critics as fools. And this is what I'm talking about. Because, of course, he's talking about the Democrats and everybody. Because the stock markets have just blown out of the water. Oil went down the last time I looked, and Texas Red can verify or tell me if I'm off now. The last time I looked at the oil, it was $74 a barrel. That was earlier this morning when I was working out. So if it went down anymore, I'm not sure. And hi, Marianne. The lovely Marianne is in the house. But yes, it was at a $74 this morning as I was working out. That was between, I work out for like 2.5 hours. So that was about, I go out there at 8:30. So we're between 8:30 and 11. So yes. So it has skyrocketed. The stock market did. The gas went down. It's been great. But of course, you know you're going to get different stories from these dumbass Democrats. And it's just pathetic that they will never, ever give Trump or a Republican president credit where credit is due. I'm just glad to see oil prices coming down. That's what I'm saying. We will bomb them on their heads, President Trump said yesterday. Exactly, Sean. Thank you, Marianne. But yes, Trump said, if they renege on this, he will blast them right in the head. Oh, yes, he will. He did say that. Cash price here is $3.14. That's nice, Dottie. So the price of a barrel has gone down like drastically real fast. So they're expecting to see maybe $3 a gallon here in the next month or so, I think they said when I saw an interview this morning. So Trump blasted Israel on the world stage about what's going on. President Trump has publicly rebuked Israel's war against Hezbollah, calling recent Lebanon strikes vicious and way too much. Trump says Israel is fighting Hezbollah too long and killing too many civilians, warning that images of destroyed apartments are turning the world against Israel. I don't think it's been that has done it. A lot of other stuff has gone on to turn people against Israel. He pushed for a ceasefire and says he told Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not to launch a major raid into Beirut, claiming Netanyahu turned his troops around. Trump shocked many by saying Syria should take care of Hezbollah themselves and would do a better job, raising fears of backroom deals between powerful states over smaller countries. So this is going on along with the Iranian attacks and stuff like that. That stuff, he said, stop, and it stopped. But now get this. With everything that's being stopped, and my eyes bother me. I didn't put drops in it yet today. Ingrates, that's for sure, Red. Guess what Iran's now propagandizing to their people? Iran declares superpower status after defeating 2 nuclear superpowers. Oh, yes, you believe that shit. These Muslim idiot, jihadist piece of shits are telling people they beat us and they beat Israel. And they think they've won something. They have won nothing. It was $4.19 not long ago, but came down about 30 cents a couple weeks ago. There you go. Same here in Mobile, Alabama. It was $2.89 here before the conflict began. Ah, yeah, that's true, Sean. But Iran, they are demented as Joe Biden, thinking that they've beat something, they've won something, they've lost it all. They have been, they're everything that they've had in the government has been shot to shit, blown to pieces. They've killed everybody except the worthless pieces of garbage. The gay bay raghead that they put in charge, holy shit. That man should have been dead as soon as they found out he was gay. Because they don't put up with that stuff down there, but obviously they're going to, I guess. But with the Democrats and all this stuff going on, and then them trying to do everything in their power to stop Trump, even though everything he's doing is legal, they tried it again to tie his hands with war powers. Because the Senate voted against move to restrict Trump's war powers. But guess what? Another 4 Republicans, turned on him. And who were they? Let me find them here. Susan Collins, Bill Cassidy, Lisa Murkowski, yeah, that's right, and the piece of shit Ron Paul voted with the Democrats, but guess who voted with them to pass this or to stop this from happening? Yes, you're right, John Fetterman. Yes, he did. Crossed the aisle, voted alongside the Republicans against the bill, and it went down again. This is what the Democrats are worried about. They're about saving the illegal criminals, about stopping Trump from doing anything and everything he can to fix this country. This is what your worthless Democrats are doing. Not only this, Democrat voters says Iran war was a failure. Really? How is stopping a state-run terrorist country from not having a nuclear weapon and not training terrorists, which they will again, don't worry, and stopping the whole country is now safer because the whole world, is safer because of what Trump has done. Do I agree with everything that's been doing? Troops in there? No, I don't believe in that. But what he did? Yes. Do I like the diesel prices up through the roof? Hell no. I'm going to have to spend $200 tomorrow just to fill my truck up so I can go on my trip come Sunday. And not going to like that. But the fact that it is, it's going to come down now. And we stop this terrorist run organization for right now. They are not even worth calling them a country. The terrorist proxies are here in America. Oh, yes, Naughty. You know that too. That's for sure. Did he vote no on the SAVE Act, Red? I didn't know that. I thought he voted yes on the SAVE Act. I didn't see anything about that. 100 days, Ayatollah dead. The military is on the brink of they're capitulated and winning. Yes, exactly, Radical Right. No other president has had the balls enough to do this stuff. Trump has snapped the head off that snake. How long is it going to last? Who knows? But keep an eye on it, guys, because I don't think it's going to last but a couple of years. If it lasts before Trump leaves this office, I'll be surprised. Diesel and gas are coming down fast. Yeah, right, Bobby. I love every minute of it. Right, we did not have boots on the ground, but we got a shit ton of them over there. Cancer would be the victim. Those with TDS would demand cancer. You got that right, Sean. They would. Yeah, I don't like that. My diesel cost me $240 to fill up. That sucks. And I got a couple 100-mile trip to make. That is not going to be good. But yes, these dumbass Democrats and these liberal idiots that follow them, they're sheep, don't know anything about what's going on. All they do, this is a national poll out of 1,032 likely voters that said that they found that 44% believe the war that began in February had been very successful by calling it 19% calling it unsuccessful or very successful. 48% said the war would have been unsuccessful. And these are so pathetic, it's unreal. They'll believe anything these Democrats tell them. That's the sad part about this. And we're talking about Muslims, right? And it never stops because here we go. Beyond Evil, the nightmarish report reveals a full-scale, massive Islamic rapes of 250,000 white British girls. 250,000, guys. Picture that. This is what's happening to Muslim Pakistani gangs. This is what they do. They do not care. They hate you. I don't know how much more I can emphasize the fact that they hate you. They can say what they want. Oh, they're a religion of peace. No, they're not. They're lying to you. They will hate you. They will kill you. Hey, Colin. Colin from Scotland's in here. Couldn't get in there, Colin. But this is what they do, guys. They'll lie to you in their face, but then they tell you the truth, like I just said. And now they're raping. They were reportedly groomed by predominantly Muslim Pakistani gangs. The staggering scale of the crimes committed against generations of young white girls in Britain by predominantly Muslims, detailed in a damning independent report unveiled on Tuesday by Rupert Lowe, the head of Restore Britain in the UK Parliament. UK's got to get this shit together. This is out of control, and it never stops, and it's still happening in our own government. Rag Top herself, outed by Somali Prime Minister for putting Somali ahead of American interest. We've told you over and over again how many times that this bitch hates America, hates Americans, and you want some proof? I want you to listen to this guy, and he tells you exactly what she really feels about America.
قضيتنا إلهام معها قضية إلهام معها قضية مينيسوتا معها قضية غير مريكان قضية إلهام وقضية صومالية.
That is a fact right there. That is how she doesn't give a shit about this country, and she's in our government with the rest of those slime balls in the squad. but we're leaving him in there. She can threaten people. She can marry her brother to get him in here illegally. And she was in here illegally. And they're not doing a thing about it. Yes, Joe. The ragheads go back on the deal after the primary. They will be blown off the planet. And I hope they are. These people are worthless, lying slugs, and they need to go. I'm so sick of every time we turn around, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing these people commit crimes, horrific crimes. Look what they're doing in the UK with raping gang rapes. But 250,000 white women, British women? Are you kidding me? They should have slammed the door on everyone there. And I can't remember what country it is. Spain? I think Spain's topping in the millions of illegals. In the millions. Oh, yeah. I mean, they've topped us like crazy. And they said another 600,000 is going to be there, is on their way there to them. I think that's what I saw earlier. I couldn't access the instant account on my phone. A different instant account from the phone and tablet. Turns out you can't have multiple accounts with the same email. Yeah, you can't do that either with Facebook either, Colin. Let's see. Do we got any more ragheads left? I don't think so. All right, here we go. Trump invokes the Defense Production Act, citing systematic constraints. Trump has invoked the Defense Production Act to address constraints of the U.S. munitions industrial base, citing concerns that production bottlenecks could hamper the national's ability to meet defense needs. In a one-page presidential memorandum released Tuesday and scheduled for the formal publication for Wednesday, Trump said the systematic constraints within the munitions industry base include limited production capacity, fragile supply chains, long lead dependencies, and other manufacturing bottlenecks could impair the ability for the United States to produce, sustain, and expand the availability of munitions, missiles, and equipment required for national defense. So, yes, he has brought that out of the war bag. Because of the fact, if we would stop giving all of our money and weaponry to Ukraine, we wouldn't have that problem, would we? The hell with Ukraine. Let them fight it on their own. Let other countries help them for a change. Stop giving them our taxpayer money. And all those bombs and shit you send over there is our taxpayer money paying for this shit. We have lost trillions of dollars because we're funding our own conflict plus their war. Enough is enough already. And yes, Texas Red made a good point. 400,000 children missing from the Biden administration. Yes, I said that right because she said it right. Obama and Biden are the same in one. Oh, yeah. You got Obama bending over Biden, and they are all in one group. Yes, they are. That means he can retrofit car manufacturers to military. That's true, Bobby. I forgot about that. When he does that, yes, he can get the auto industry to start building stuff. So that is true. That was an old one right there. They fed the pedophiles. They do feed the pedophiles. The Democrats are the party of pedophilia. And I've got that here coming up at the end. Wait till you see the disgusting stuff that the Democrats also fight for. Not only this, but everything that I've talked about, the ragheads and everything else, and the gangs and the illegals and everything. Wait till you see what I got for you at the end. It's disgusting. All right, what's next on the hit parade here? Whoops, I don't want to lose that. Now, the FBI raided a Soros-funded voter group with fraud history. Why aren't they doing something about him now? The fact that George Soros is still allowed in this country after everything that he's doing is beyond me. Are they afraid of this dude? He got shit on everybody in our government because they're not doing anything to him. But yes, for years, the conservatives have warned that the left organizations are bankrolled by progressive mega donors like him been gaming the voters' registration system, flooding election offices with dubious forms, registering dead people, then this is the real magic trick, shrecking about voter suppression. The second anyone bothers to investigate, the warnings got ignored. The checks kept getting cashed. The suspicious registrations kept piling up. So federal investigators raided Soros-funded voter mobilization group on Thursday as part of a report of an ongoing fraud investigation. FBI agents raided the headquarters of Ohio Organizing Collaborative on June 11th and deployed across the state to question members of the organization, sometimes bearing subpoenas and demanding to seize electronic devices. MS Now reported a day later, multiple sources familiar with the event told CBS News that the operations were a part of a fraud-related investigation. Now, the judges issued the orders and everything, but this is the stuff that's going on over and over and over again. Millions of dark money are going to all these leftist groups, hate groups, causing them to burn cities down and riot, attack people for no reason, and nobody gets in trouble for it. That's the biggest issue about it. But if the Republicans would do that, and if we would go out there and do what these people were doing, our asses would be locked up like they did to those January 6ers that got locked in D.C. Gitmo illegally with no representation. They didn't get to see an attorney. They didn't get to make calls. They didn't have heat. They didn't have water. They didn't have air conditioning. Nothing. They about froze to death in there. That's what you get when you're a Republican. But when you're a Democrat and you're a liberal pissant sheep, you don't get nothing happen to you. That is why the crime is the way it is now. Because of this. Hope you're eating a human. John, what are you eating, John? I can't find the filter I need. Now I'm setting a line in the drive-thru to hot to cook. You got that right. I went out to eat, John. I went and had a stromboli. I had a little piece of stromboli. Friend of mine owns a pizza shop down the road from us. Oh, man, it was good. I don't usually eat that stuff anymore. That's why I try to stay away from him. But he always makes a good stromboli. And that son of a bitch is about that damn big. I mean, tell you big, then it goes around like this. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I only ate a fourth of that thing. Filled my ass up. I don't eat that stuff anymore. Crazy, right? All right. This is what's happening right now with that one. But why are they not getting George Soros out of here? He's already been banned from one country. Do it here. Freeze his assets and get him the hell out of our country. We don't need his dark blood money in here. Get him gone. But I bet you he's got something on high up people in here, and that's why they haven't done anything yet. Mark my word on that one too, guys. We know that they've hooked up the machines. The corrupt CIA is running and ruining our country. Yes, Donnie, that's the problem too, because the CIA, they are not even a law enforcement group. They have no arrest ability whatsoever. They're not even allowed to be working in our country. They are only supposed to be working out of the country. And they're not even a freaking law enforcement agency. That's the biggest issue. Holy shit. Crazy, right? All right, what else we got here? Oh, remember me talking about the SPLC and that idiot president that runs that place? He kept saying, everything will be held in court and we'll talk about it then. That's all he said. Some bitch wouldn't answer a damn thing. Wouldn't even answer, I don't think, that him too, about his name. But that woman did the same thing too. But SPLC president asked if pro-lifers are white supremacists. His response says it all. Yes, this is what this piece of shit said. He said, what I would say again is the SPLC supports reproductive liberty. Fair, that's the way he answered. Calling somebody a white supremacist is pretty serious charge, isn't it? I would think you would be able to defend that if your organization says that. You clearly seem unable to, and that's what Gil told him. Well, sorry, Ferry. What is his name? Yeah, Brian Ferry, boy. But we believe in babies should be allowed to live. not because you're worthless women that got to spread their legs out there and don't care if they get pregnant because they'll go get a free butt plug pulled out of them and kill a baby no matter what. They don't give a shit. So this piece of shit, he needs to go to prison too. There's way too many other stuff going on, guys, and our weak ass Republicans are letting them get away with this stuff. The Soros voter rolls in most states. Every state, Sean. Soros controls it all. Why did Bannon work for Epstein in 2019 for a year and a half trying to take out Trump? You know what, Red? I cannot answer that right now. I might have heard about that back then, and then I just totally forgot about it. Because these people flip when Trump's not in office. I don't care who you are. If they're for him now, when he gets out of office, they'll go talk bad shit on him, just like some of the Democrats are doing to Joe Biden. We'll get into that here in a little bit, too. But, I mean, it seems to go that way every time. When they want something from him, they love him. But when they don't need him and can't use him, they hate him. That's the way it was before he ran for president. They loved him because they didn't have nothing. He had money. He was a real estate magnate. He was everything. Everybody loved his ass. But as soon as he come down that golden escalator, it's like everybody hated him, except the people that needed him. The ones that wanted to get in his clique, you know, in the gang with him. Oh, yeah, because they knew, all right, we got 4 years. And then after he got out and they cheated and stole the election from him, which we know is a fact, they hated him again. Then as soon as he got back in, knew he was going to beat that dumbass Harris, they loved him again. They're loving him now. He gave everybody pardons and all this shit. They loved him a long time. As soon as he's out here in a couple years, they'll back to hating him again. You watch. We can mark all this down, guys, because I guarantee it'll come true. Oh, yeah. Telling you. All right. Here we go. We got the illegal criminals we haven't talked about for a while. 15 members of Antifa-linked group busted for allegedly trying to hurt or impede ICE, leading to chaos at the courthouse. This happened in Minnesota, and this was just when it was this. Yesterday, this came out. The Justice Department has announced indictments against more than a dozen members of Direct Action Minnesota, a group dedicated to opposing federal immigration enforcement. These are all Antifa related. They're not an ideology. They're an actual group. These dumbass Democrats want to keep saying they're not even real. They're not even an organization. They in fact are. It's been proven. I talked about it last week too, and we named off people who are actually in the organization. Exactly, Bobby. That's the way they are. These people are nothing about themselves. The whole government's like that. They're about themselves. They play a good game telling us all we want to hear. You know, they tell us all the stories. They feed you information. But they don't give a shit about us. It is all about what they can do for themselves when they're in the midst of power. That is the way it's going, guys. Everybody should see. I know you guys see this because it happens every day. We've seen it and we've talked about it over and over again. And that's the bad part about it. It's all about talk, and I don't feel that we've done anything, that we have achieved anything in the 5 years that I've been doing this. That it just doesn't feel that we got anywhere. To me, that is, anyways. I made some great friends on here, that's for sure. But I just don't feel that we made the headway that we were planning on doing, trying to get our voices out there, unfortunately. Now, I just talked about that one. I put 2 copies of that in there about Raghead. I'm not talking about her again. So now let's get into some more of these Democrat pieces of shit, worthless slugs that they are. Let's begin with Newsom. And remember, we've talked about this a couple of times, about Newsom crying about political maneuvering about going after Newsom and his wife, which in fact, it did not happen that way. Because he wants to keep sitting there crying and whining about what happened. And whoops, this is the wrong one. I wanted to get this one up here. Because he was crying about political witch hunts. But the fact is, the feds are focused on an alleged $1.5 million nonprofit pipeline to the wife's business. This is where it started. Not with Washington, D.C. This actually started with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Sacramento. A whistleblower information was submitted and reviewed at the local level, not the federal level, where this guy, he wants to sit there and cry and whine like the little bitch that he is, and sit there and say, blame it on Trump. The Trump derangement syndrome is coming out, wants to blame it on political persecution. What they did to Trump, which is pretty much, I would say, fair game because of after what they did to Trump, but it didn't happen that way. The local government in California are investigating the $1.5 million that's going to his wife's business. Not because they found a crime, because they are simply trying to, that's what Newsom said. Because they're trying to find one. No, your own people in California found it. And they want to know how all this money is going into his wife from the state of California. According to CNN, investigators have been reviewing matters related to tax issues and nonprofit activity, although authorities have not publicly detailed the specific allegations under examination. Because it's still under investigation, you dumbasses. But he wants to sit there and cry that it's political persecution and stuff. And in fact, it's not. Trump didn't start it. His own people started it. So what's that tell you, right? So now let's go from California. Let's go across the country to New York, shall we? Yes. New York Democrats get annihilated with a backlash after revealing which World Cup team they're rooting for. These are candidates. Democrats are vying for the same seat in New York are going viral for saying that they would cheer for a team other than the United States in the World Cup. Now, a Democrat Representative Adriana Espollet and his socialist challenger, holy shit, I don't even know what that his name is, Dariliza Avila Chevalier. Holy shit, right? Now, they both said that they are going after a different one. One said he's an immigrant from the Dominican Republic and growing up in Florida, and he's originally from the Dominican Republic. So, okay, who gives a shit? That's like me living here in Pennsylvania, and I'm a Steeler fan. I know, don't tell anybody I said that, right? And me cheering for Dallas Cowboys. What's the big deal? Who gives a shit? But these people don't sound like they're even from our country. Doesn't even sound like they are illegally here. They sure the hell don't look like it. So they better check this and see if they're even allowed to be running for a public office. Well, why not? You got Ilhan Omar, Ragtop herself, in there, and she shouldn't be in there. But we seem to let anybody they want get into our government now. Nick's coming to White House for the first time. Oh, are they now? Wow. I did not watch that parade today. They put on a parade today. As soon as Fox News was going to put it on, I changed it and I watched my other show. I watched Dan Bongino for a while I was working out. So, Ariana, or you near Black Earth, Wisconsin? Whoop. I don't know, but Marianne, I know she's near cheese. That's the best place to get cheese, you guys. Wisconsin's got some of the best cheese right there. So yeah, you got, oh yeah, good cheese. I stopped there on my way back from North Dakota and on my way up. But on my way back from North Dakota the first time, I stopped by, I wish I would remember what it was, but I pulled off and there was a big red barn, a farm, and they had some of the best cheese. Holy shit. It was freaking awesome cheese right there. I keep talking about it every time I see Marianne. I think about the cheese. That you want some good cheese, you can order it online. So, and I have. It's expensive, but it's good. All right, let's get into Hillary herself. Hillary Clinton flips on big name Democrat. He made a terrible mistake for himself and his legacy. And who is that? Now that they don't need him, and because people already know that he was demented as shit, Joe Biden. Yes, they're doing the same thing to Joe Biden now. She was on an interview saying that he should never have ran. He should have stuck with it when he said he was not going to run, and everything would have been fine. Then it would have been a fair. She goes, anybody, it don't matter if a senator, a congressman, or anybody they would have beaten Donald Trump. Oh, hell no. Trump took almost every state. Almost. It definitely took all the big states, the ones that I guess you got to say mean something because our electoral is so screwed up. But he won the popular vote and he won all the other votes, all the states. So nobody would have beaten Trump. Not in this election. I'm sorry. They didn't beat him when Joe Biden ran. Sorry about your luck there, but they did not beat him. Trump beat Biden hands down. If it wasn't for China printing up all those ballots and stuffing them in there, they would have never stolen that election. Remind Democrats they will lose their sports teams. Yes, they will. Let them lose them all. Chicago Bears are moving to North Indiana. I did hear that, Bubby. The CIA or Mossad knew it was planned. CNN had a cameraman with the Hamas terrorists. Oh, yes. This is crazy, right? They also showed her praising him at the time he won 3 times. Oh, yeah. But this is what Hillary does every time. They don't need Joe Biden no more because they know he's downhill. So they're going to move on to the next loser that they're going to try to put up against whoever runs in 2028 against whoever's going to be the nominee. But watch it now, guys, because we're in 2026 now. We're only 2 years away. You watch the cheating's going to fly, guys, in the next couple of years. It already is. Look at California, what they've done. It's just going to get worse from here on out, folks. And if we do not get out and get the Republicans out to vote, Democrats will take over, and you watch this country fall. That's mark my word again. I'm marking my word a lot here tonight, guys, because it's a fact what's going to happen. Georgia was close in Maricopa County. Maricopa County, that is the worst ever. The fraud is so huge in Arizona, it's unreal. What else? We only got a couple more here, then we're going to have some fun, guys. Here it is. Obama, the racist pig himself. Obama takes veiled swipes at Trump at presidential center opening. The TDS is going freaking crazy, guys, with the monstrosity open of that penis-looking building of his, the most expensive building, $840 million for a building you have to show ID for to get into. You got to pay $30 to get into. Oh, yeah, Obama had to run his mouth and hearken the nation's foundings by echoing the words of the Declaration of Independence, adding that it established there will be no kings or lords, no serfs or subjects, but only citizens, each of us free to pursue our own visions of happiness and able to determine our collective fate through an elected representative government. Well, you piece of shit, you weren't even born here, you Ethiopian freaking gay piece of shit. I can't even stand that son of a bitch. And I voted for that worthless fuck the first time around. I know, don't crucify me for that, but that son of a bitch is the biggest racist son of a bitch in the world. I can't stand him and that crying ass dude husband of his. Oh my God. That is out of control too. These people on X are getting there going, oh, they need to sue that UFC wrestler for defamation and shit. You can't stop free speech, asshole. You can say what you want. There's nothing they can do about it. People want to call her a dude, him a dude, whatever. Doesn't matter. As long as you don't threaten somebody, you can say whatever the fuck you want. So kiss my ass, you dumb son of a bitches. Oh, these guys pissing me off. Sorry about that, guys. That was my rant for the night. I'm done now. Okay, yes, okay. I'll get to it, Tammy. Two more things real quick. Democrats are all about socialism now. Socialism is on the verge of becoming D.C. mayor. Put city on collision course with Trump. Yes, these people are not only in D.C., but all around. They are for socialism. When we know socialism doesn't work, it's being proven the fact every day that they've already got it. Look at New York. Look at Virginia. Look at everywhere there's a Democrat right now. It does not work, and it will not work. The Democrats are losing everything. And because they're losing everything, because I tell you that the Democrats are the party of pedophilia, this is one of the things that they're protecting, on top of the illegal criminals and everything else I told you about tonight. Pure evil. Gay couple raped adopted baby boy before brutally killing him. This is the stuff that they are allowing. This is the stuff they're protecting. The pedophiles. They're giving them babies. The mentally insane. They're giving them children. They're trapped with all these 400,000 the Texas Red mentioned earlier. That this is kind of people the Democrats are giving these children to. This is the disgusting stuff that needs to be stopped, folks. It's as simple as that. No, John, I'm not going to tell you how I really feel. I might get carried away or something like that. People said I have anger issues, which I do not have anger issues if people would stop pissing me off. All right, anyway, that is it, guys, for the news part of this show tonight. Yes, sir, Bob. Holy shit, let's get busy.
Dial up that static and that golden radio sound. Let's take a trip to solid ground. Throwback Thursday, let's go to the 60s, 70s, and 80s show. Throwback Thursday, live tonight, 9 p.m. EST, feeling right.
Yes, sir, Bob, it is that time of the night again. And I am going to start off with something that I have promised you guys for a long time. And I finally found one of the items that I told you I was going to show you. And my half-sister got me. That she actually got me this back in 1999. If you can see this here. This is my copy of the Three Stooges book. This tells you the history of the Three Stooges. I have had this for 27 years. It is, and guess who wrote it? And if you have watched any of this guy's movies, and I'll tell you who it is, and you tell me what movies you know that he used part of this in. Mel Gibson. Actually, forward by Mel Gibson. Do you know a movie that would give an example of him doing something with what the Three Stooges had in it? What did he say? Do you guys remember that? It was one of his movies that he actually acted like, yes, the Three Stooges in one of his movies. Do you guys know what it was? I'm going to give you a second to look at that since we do have delays and stuff on here. But he made comments about the Three Stooges, how they make fun of each other and stuff. And in one of his shows, in one of his movies. But my sister got me this, guys, back in 1999 when this came out. So 27 years, I finally found out. I told you I had toilet paper too. I can't find it. I thought it was in my fifth wheel, but I cannot find it. But I will, if I do find it, I will find out for you. Sorry, 19 years to fix. Glad you're on, CC. I am too. In 1999, he got me this. But the movie was not The Wise Guys. It was I'm having a brain fart now. It was, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm having a brain fart. What's his favorite? What's one of his the best movies he was in? And there's like 5 of them. Radical Right, come on with it now. Hey, Bubby. Love the Three Stooges, guys. Gotta love the Three Stooges. Oh man, come on. Let me think. Think. What was Mel Gibson movie, guy? Oh, Mel Gibson movies. I have to find out. You ever get off of there? Oh my God.
Mel Gibson is
Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon, folks. He did that. Yeah, on his first one. First Lethal Weapon. If you guys go back and watch it, watch the movie. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. Road Warrior, that was a good one too. Because he does the and oh yeah, before he punches somebody. Oh yeah, you guys got to watch that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. My phone, when I opened it up, for some reason I don't get all my messages and stuff. So if I don't get back to you guys, that's why. Unless I open it up, like right now, this son of a bitch is going crazy, and I don't get all my messages. So I have to open it, and then I finally get them. Passion of Christ was an awesome movie. If you never watched Passion of Christ, it actually pissed me off because I wanted to be there to help him when those people were abusing him. Oh, yeah, that really pissed me off. And there's supposed to be another one coming out, too. So, but let's have some fun here. But I do want to, oh, you know what? Shit. Now, if we have enough time, I'll show it to you. Braveheart was another good one. We Were Soldiers. I love We Were Soldiers. You guys ever heard of that? We Were Soldiers. Yes, Marianne, she liked Passion of Christ, I see. But We Were Soldiers was another one that was terrific. I will watch that, rewatch it, and watch it again. That is an intense movie, and I loved it. But let's get on with the show here, and we're going to show you guys, not this first one. You know what? I will do this first one. I'm going to take you back to 1910. We want to fly back somewhere? We're going way back. We're going back to 1910. Take a look. Now tell me that was before roads, and that car was pushing through that mud like that. With those, I saw that one and I said I had to get that one. 1910. Three Sturgeons would have said "wise guys" when they poked each other in the eye. He did say that too, Sean. Oh yeah, he did. So it was like amazing because I think Lethal Weapon was out before 1999. I think that was an 80 something. But this book has a lot of stuff in it, guys. I'm telling you what. Look, right on the front, the first page. Look at that. I'm trying to get the light off of it so you can see it a little bit better, but the light's kind of hard for you to see. There's Mo and Larry and Curly's over here. But then it shows some of the guys that were here before them. I don't know if I can find them. Where were those other guys at? There. Yeah, here they are. Take a look at them. Can you see that one? Oh, yeah. This book is full of great information, guys. I love it. I'll keep this book for another 27 years. Oh, shoot. My stupid thing just died on me. I'll get it here in a little bit. But, all right, that was 1910, guys. Let me delete that one out of here. Now we're going back in the 70s. We're going back to the time machine in the 70s. Let's take a look.
Life, so they say, is but a game and they let it slip away. Love, like the autumn sun, should be done, but it's only just begun. Like the twilight in the road up ahead, they don't see just where we're going, and all the secrets in the universe whisper in our ears. All the years come and go, they got stuff always up. We may never pass this way again. We may never pass this way again.
Now, I tell you what, that's going back in some time right there. There's shit on bell-bottom pants from JCPenney's. Holy shit, those were some bell-bottom jeans right there. All right, that's the trip through the time machine right there. Tell me if you guys remember back in the 1950s and a home science lab that kids got. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fascinating 50s. In 1950, one toy company sold children an atomic science lab. Not a toy rocket, not a board game, a real home experiment kit with tools to measure invisible energy and even small uranium ore samples. Parents saw it as educational, kids saw it as the future, and somehow nobody seemed too worried that the future was sitting right there on the kitchen table.
It is safe and educational.
For the scientists of tomorrow.
Stay tuned, folks, the past only gets stranger.
Now, you wouldn't be allowed to give kids that now because they'd be called terrorists. And they probably would try to do something like that. That's great right there. I didn't even know they had those kind of things back in the 1950s. But now I want to show you this first video is the kitchen. A kitchen in the 1950s. Then right after that, a decade later, I'm going to show you the 60s type of kitchen. Tell me what you notice different about the two.
Is the kitchen of tomorrow, a press-button dream coming true for Mrs. Housewife. All sorts of wonders are hers at the push of a button, from refrigerator doors to countertops built for big gals or little gals. Don't have to lean over here, you see. What's for dinner? Consult the menus on pictures and dish up something new for a change. Hummingbird wings on toast, maybe. And look where the toaster is. A wave of the hand and presto, down comes a hidden cabinet with the dishes. Mama will feel like a fairy princess with a magic wand in a place like this. We won't be able to get her out of the kitchen, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, the question before the house is, what's cooking and when do we eat?
I want that kitchen. How the hell can they have stuff like that back then and we don't have that stuff now? That's crazy, right? Now let's take a look at the 60s kitchen.
Started automatically at a preset time. Now, while she goes about her normal day's activities, she will clean the oven automatically. She made the freezer portion of her refrigerator. No frost ever here. Now, out to play, young lady. One moment when you might say she had her hands full. But Frigidaire design engineers have anticipated such occasions, for this new refrigerator has an electric door. Just a touch is all that's needed.
You guys notice that the 50s kitchen was a hell of a lot better than the 60s? I want the 50s kitchen now. Wouldn't that be freaking awesome? Push button, the thing drops down. It's like some of the RVs, not mine, but most of the RVs now have telescopic TVs that come up out of the cabinets. You just hit a button and they pull up out, and you put it down. It's a flat counter. That's what I want right there. What the hell? We went from nice technology to shit. I don't like that. Hey, you guys know that, you guys ever eat TV dinners? Do you know they came out in 1953? Take a look at these families eating TV dinners.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fabulous 50s. In 1953, the TV dinner arrived, and dinner became scientific. No chopping, no cooking, no guesswork. Just meat, potatoes, vegetables, and dessert, factory portioned in a shiny aluminum tray. Because nothing said healthy family dinner like eating processed food in front of a glowing television. Stay tuned, folks. The past only gets stranger.
That's when people started becoming lazy. But you know what? I used to love those TV dinners. My mom would they come in those metal pans, and they had those little fruit desserts in them. I always burnt my mouth on them because I went to those first, and then I got my ass beat because you weren't allowed to eat your dessert until you finished everything on your plate or pan. And those were the best ones right there, especially the meatloaf and gravy. I liked that one. But I got my ass beat, but I burned my mouth on that cherry cobbler or whatever was in there. I used to love those things. Spam and corned beef. You know what? I didn't eat spam for the longest time because it looked and smelled gross. But you know what? It is pretty good, especially when you fry it up. Mary Ann just mentioned that. I love corned beef. Shit on a shingle. Did you guys ever eat that? Corned beef and gravy on toast? That's one thing that I did eat when my mom was making. My mother made liver and onions with puke. Yeah, I did not like liver and onions. My brother and my dad loved that stuff. I couldn't even stand the smell when my mother was cooking it. But that was the nastiest thing in the world. You can't make any money if you build quality appliances, and that's what happened. Oh, yeah, and I think I have something on that too, John, coming up here in a little bit, when things were made better. And it's coming up down here in the show here in a little while. I still got a lot to go through here. I wonder how much radiation leaked out of those old radar Rangers. Yeah, exactly, Conrad. Yeah, you know they weren't sealed like they are now. Yes, Radical Right. Chip beef gravy. SOS, shit on a shingle. That's right. That was some good stuff. Ooh. Ooh, Radical Right. They eat beef liver. You know people eat beef tongue? No. No, sorry. I can't do that stuff. All right, let's go back to 1966 and a little bit of pulp culture. Take a look.
Let's take a look back at 1966 pop culture America. What some consider a turning point in pop culture. The year still has some of the clean-cut feel of the early 60s, but the psychedelic, youth-driven counterculture was exploding across the country. Music, fashion, TV, movies, and even advertising suddenly became brighter, louder, stranger, and more youth-focused. Albums like Revolver by the Beatles and Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys were changing music with their psychedelic sounds and studio experimentation. The album Aftermath by the Rolling Stones pushed a more rebellious image. Bob Dylan was also extremely influential in music. AM radio was still king, and kids carried transistor radios listening to hits like California Dreaming by the Mamas and the Papas. These Boots Are Made for Walking by Nancy Sinatra. Wild Thing by the Troggs. Last Train to Clarksville by the Monkees. And Strangers in the Night by Frank Sinatra. More TV shows started airing in color. The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown premiered. Batman Mania was everywhere due to the popularity of the TV show and the new movie. The Monkees were becoming a cultural success. And How the Grinch Stole Christmas also premiered. Fashion trends of the year included miniskirts and go-go boots, bright geometric patterns, stripes and op art patterns, big sunglasses. For men, longer hair was becoming more popular, so were turtlenecks, narrow jackets, and slim cut suits. Popular movies that year include Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, The Sand Pebbles, Batman, Fantastic Voyage, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Classic mid-1960s products like TV dinners, Kool-Aid, Tang, Coca-Cola, and Campbell's Soup were everywhere. Fast food like McDonald's and Burger King were rapidly expanding. The best-selling car in the U.S. was the Chevrolet Impala. The Indy 500 pace car was the Mercury Comet Cyclone GT. We were introduced to Cool Whip and original Doritos tortilla chips.
Now, I tell you what, that's crazy right there. How many of you guys remember 1966 like that? They had a lot of stuff in there that, oh my, I wasn't even born yet. I had one more year to go to be born for that stuff. But then they mentioned a lot of different stuff that was coming out, like, of course, the TV dinners and stuff. That was an accident. I didn't realize I did that when that was then that, because I don't watch all these videos all the way through, some of them. But then some of them I do. But guys, now we're going to talk about McDonald's real quick. Do you guys know what McDonald's was, what there was before McDonald's? And I'm going to give you guys a second to try to answer this question. But what was the restaurant before it was called McDonald's? I'm going to... You were 8 then. Oh, well, so we're about 8 years apart. Shell, that's not bad. So, yes, there was this was, the way I'm taking it was, this is what the name of McDonald's was prior to it being called McDonald's. Spam cut in small chunks with pineapple, chunks of toothpick. That would be good too. But I fry it up with some eggs. They have low sodium stuff too, because I have inner ear issues. I have water in my inner ears. So I get dizzy, with Meniere's. So I don't eat a lot of salt. But I tell you what, and that's high in salt. I mean, through the roof in salt. But they have low sodium ones, and it's pretty good. I never thought it would be, but it was. But here anyways, have any one of you heard of Speedy? Now you're going to see it. This was before McDonald's. And here you'll go. Here, just watch.
Before Ronald McDonald, there was Speedy, a little character with a hamburger for a head, a chef's hat, and a winking smile. He launched in the early 1950s to represent the McDonald's Speedy system, fast food, built for speed. Then Ray Kroc took over. Ronald arrived in 1963, and Speedy just disappeared. Almost nobody remembers him today. But if you visit the oldest McDonald's in Downey, California, he's still on the sign. Follow for more fast food history you never knew you needed.
Did you guys know that? I did not ever know about Speedy. And Ronald McDonald took his place. Isn't that crazy? The things you find out when we do our Throwback Thursday? I think Spam was big jello. No kidding. You see all that shit that's in that can, Joe? You pull that can out and you go, like pulling the pants off a fat girl. And I'm sorry, that was just wrong, right? Right? Oh, that's just wrong. All right. Anyways, check out these old-time items, guys.
They say that breaking up is hard to do. Now I know that it's true. Don't say that this is the end. Instead of breaking up, I wish that we were making up again. I beg of you, don't say goodbye. Can't we give our love another try? Come on, baby, let's start anew.
Oh, I just love looking back at stuff like that. Remember the good old days when things were so much better and relaxing. How many of you guys, and I know it's a dumb question, but how many of you guys have went to a drive-in? And how many of you guys still have drive-ins near where you live? I know we have one that's not too far up the road for me, probably, I don't know, 8 miles maybe. And it still has 3 screens. Oh, yeah. Take a look. Here's some drive-ins.
They stopped building drive-in theaters in 1958. By 1990, most of the ones we loved were already gone. Friday night meant piling into the station wagon in your pajamas, the scratchy speaker hooked on the window. The smell of popcorn mixing with the summer air. Mom and dad up front, kids in the back. Nobody looked at a phone. Nobody was anywhere else. That parking lot held something we didn't have a word for then. We just called it Friday night. If you grew up going to the drive-in, subscribe because more memories like this are coming. Drop the name of your drive-in below. Someone else remembers it too.
Yes, I love drive-ins, guys. You sit back, I love the popcorn, the hot dog, the licorice. I loved all that stuff. But you know what the best popcorn was? When my mom made popcorn, when we'd go to our football games or high school football games and stuff, and she put it in a brown paper bag, and the butter would come through the brown paper bag. That was the best popcorn you ever ate. But of course, everything's better at the drive-in. The hamburgers, the hot dogs. I loved all that stuff from the drive-in. And then they had the playing, you go to the concession stand in mid-break, because we always got 2 movies and stuff. That was the best thing about it, I'm telling you. That was all good right there. Drive-ins are making a huge comeback. I know the friend of mine, he just bought our drive-in, our local drive-in, and they shut it down and all of his equipment and stuff there. And I know everybody fought to keep that drive-in open. They were donating money to get the system upgraded to DVDs and stuff like that because they still use the reel and stuff, which I wish I could do that and open a business and open a drive-in that can run all year round. But we get too much bad snow here. And do the old reels again. But they did away with all of them and had the speakers on the poles and stuff where you had to put on your window and listen to it. Now you go in and everything's on your radio. You just tune your radio in and listen to it. All day I dream about what? Fix. Oh, we're not going to go there. All right, let me get over here. Take this out. What do we got up on the next? Flashback to the 60s and 70s. Maybe the 80s too, but it's hidden. Yep, 80s.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We've known each other since we were 9 or 10. Together we've climbed hills and trees.
Wiggle.
Learned of love and ABC. Skinned our hearts and skinned our knees. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die.
There they are.
When all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air. Pretty girls are everywhere. Think of me and I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. But the hills that we climbed were just seasons out of time. Goodbye, Michelle, my little one. You gave me.
There's those things. I think Tammy mentioned those spirographs things. Oh, yeah. Man, oh, days. I'll tell you what. That's crazy, right? Hey, here's a little bit of the best basketball team you'll ever see. Knicks ain't got nothing on them. Here's the Harlem Globetrotters.
She told me her name was Billie Jean as she crossed the scene. Then heavy hair turned with the ice to dream of being the one who would dance on the floor and around. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mother always told me, be careful who you love and be careful what you do. She's just a girl, that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. She says I am the one, but the kid is not my son.
I love the Harlem Globetrotters. I didn't know they had a white boy on there, though. Yeah, I did not remember that at all. But the original Harlem Globetrotters were the ultimate. Oh, they were just hilarious. All right, what else we got here? Hey, growing up in the 70s, this is how it was.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We've known each other since we were 9 or 10. Together we've climbed hills and trees, learned of love and ABC, and skinned our hearts and skinned our knees. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, pretty girls are everywhere. Think of me and I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the hills that we climbed were just seasons out of time.
I pretty much had every one of those toys out there. The clock that flipped, oh man, that was a noisy clock right there. That was like the first digital ones that come out and weren't even digital. They flipped like a, oh shoot, I don't even know what the hell to call that. But they folded. That they were noisy as all get up stuff right there. Tell me you guys didn't have stuff like that. Those yes, Kurt, those balls would bounce like a sumbitch. You bounce that sumbitch, man, they fly. You could used to buy those little ones in the gumball machine for like a nickel or I think maybe a dime. Back in those days, the clackers, those were noisy right there. They had those one crackers that used to smell like the cap guns fixed. Do you remember those? You clacked those things and it smoked and it was like a little spark and they'd smell just like a cap gun. Love that smell. We had joy, we had fun, we had the Democrats on the run, but the fun didn't last because the bastard ran too fast. That's funny right there, Colin. Did you guys hear that? This is from Colin from Scotland. We had joy, we had fun, we had the Democrats on the run, but the fun didn't last because the bastards ran too fast. I love it. I love it. Yep, that is our Colin right there from Scotland. Yes, it was. Oh, hey guys, I'm going to show you a little bit of history of, guess what? Taco Bell. Bet you didn't know this. Take a look. Who would have thought that Taco Bell started out with drive-in? Wouldn't I would have never thought that in my life. And then they turned into a multi-place. It's crazy, right? But I had to put that one in there. I like Taco Bell. My best one when it used to be, they used to have dollar tacos. You can't even buy a taco for $1 anymore. And I love tacos. I could eat a shitload. Now what do? I make a taco salad. I crunch up the shells in the lettuce and put my hamburger and everything on a salad. That's my salads. Love Taco Bell. Telling you. That's why we haven't watched a little bit of 70s commercials. Tell me if you guys remember any of these commercials.
From K-Tel Records, 22 explosive hits, 22 original stars, gallery.
Oh, it's so nice to be with you.
the great Sammy Davis Jr.
Who the Candyman can.
Ah, that didn't last very long. I thought there was more commercials on there than that. But K-Tail Records. Yes, sir, Bob. Oh, we're not done here yet. We still got a few more on here we're going to get through. I'm telling you what. Here's some old school candy, and I want you guys to tell me if you've ever eaten this candy before it went away. Take a look.
10 old school candies no one seems to eat today. Candy buttons.
I love those.
Necco wafers.
Oh, they're still out. I love those.
Bitto honey.
Oh, I really love those. They're really hard.
Mary
though.
Jane peanut butter kisses.
I don't know that one.
Chiclets gum.
Yum.
Boston baked beans candy. Wax bottles / nickel nib. Circus peanuts. Root beer barrels.
Peanuts. Root beer barrels. Love those.
Sugar Daddy caramel pops.
Love those too.
Sky bar.
I don't
Clark
remember
bar.
Sky bars. Love Clark bars. Made here in Pennsylvania.
Bonomo Turkish taffy.
Or it was.
Satellite wafers / flying saucers. Blackjack gum.
I remember that. Didn't like that too much. Now, pretty much all those I remember. A lot of those I used to love. Ain't no damn wonder I'm a diabetic. I mean, I still eat some candy now once in a while now. Trying to get back into shape before I hit 60. So, pretty much all those I liked. Those little dots, I don't think I ate too many of those. Those first ones they showed. But those Necco wafers, I definitely like those because each one of them has a different flavor to them. Those were pretty good. Love Ghost Flying Saucers. You guys remember those wax bottles that you bite off the top and you can drink the juice out of them? Then if you chew the wax, it tasted. I love Laffy Taffy Fix. Banana is my favorite. Yes, Marianne. Sugar daddies, you would lose a crown. I did. I broke this tooth off now on. Oh shit! What was I eating? No, that was hard candy. I got to get I got to pay $900 for a bridge because I broke off a tooth over here. They can't fix it, so now I got to get a bridge. July 2nd, Bubby. That is going to be a red, white, and blue Throwback Thursday. That's in 2 weeks. Next week, I will only be here for, remember, guys, I will only be here for Throwback Thursday next week since I'm leaving on vacation. I got to get back from vacation and put a show together. I'm not even going to have time to do that. It's going to be crazy. All right, guys, let's look at people's first jobs back in the 60s. Tell me if you've had these jobs. I love cowtail, Sean.
There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky. 200 degrees, just like coming Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call.
Oh, I was typing again. Shell, Dottie said that. I love black licorice. Love black licorice. Who all loves black licorice? I just can't help myself with black licorice. I'll eat a whole damn thing. Whoppers. Yes, it was, Colin. Whoppers was that little round ball. And I think it was a malt ball or something with chocolate around it, with chocolate malt on the inside. Whoppers was good too. Yeah, when Fix mentioned that, I love those things. All right, where are we at here? Anybody have those jobs? What was your first job? Put it in chat and tell me what your first job was you ever had. Mine, I guess, would be, I wasn't mowing grass. It wasn't a paper route. What the hell was my first job? No, it had to be mowing. Oh, yes, it was mowing grass. I actually mowed grass for a cemetery. I did, right by our football field. I mowed that for a couple of years. They didn't pay very much, and I had to push my mower all the way over there. It was probably 2 blocks away. I had to push my mower over there and push mow it. Push mow to hold. My dad wouldn't let us use the riding mower, so I had to push mow everything. So that was my first one. Dottie, cashier, grocery store, mowing yards for Kurt, a checker at Walgreens, no doubt. Gas station at 14, John. Holy shit. Fix a grocery boy or grocery cart boy at grocery store. Farm work. Pat. Hi, Pat. Pat was a farm worker and a babysitter. Bubby is a car detailer. Conrad lawnmower and paper boy. Red, babysitter. Swing scaffold hanging off a building. Whoa, that's scary right there, Sean. Joe Public, busboy dishwasher. Yeah, we had all different kinds in here. Mine would have been mowing grass. Tastes like Maltesers over here. Ah, that sounds pretty good, Colin. Drug dealer. Hey, drug dealer's a good one there, Red. I like the drug dealer one. We got to have, there's always room for drug dealers. Babysitter, actually, when I was 10. Wow, Dottie was a babysitter at 10 years old. Man, you must have been a trustworthy person, Dottie. All right, what's next on the hit parade here? Let me get rid of this one. And let's see how far we can go back in time. I can't beat 1910, guys. 1910 was the furthest I've ever went back on this show. But here we go. Things that you could buy in 1960s for $1. Take a look. I'm not even watching. I'm typing. Sorry. All right. What was that one? Oh, yeah. Gasoline. A 15-cent hamburger. McDonald's. Holy shit. A hamburger, right? Not even with cheese. Hamburger with mustard ketchup and a pickle. Maybe a little bit of onions. It's almost, I think it's $3 now. Some $2 or something. Almost. Maybe it's $3 something now. I haven't had them for a little while. Oh, yeah, it's expensive for a plain-ass hamburger. It's that freaking thin, and I can eat it in 2 bites. Yeah, like $3. All right, let's get that out of here. Got a couple more left here. What else we got here? The times when things... Oh, this is it right here, John. When things were built better back in the day.
1946, 10 years ago, when Maybe you had a refrigerator like this. It was big enough for your family then when little Mary was only so big and Johnny wasn't even born yet, but now he's about this big. And as you can see, this old refrigerator is just too cramped for a growing family. Isn't it time to bring yourself up to date with this big, beautiful Westinghouse refrigerator? I'll bet before you've had it in your kitchen more than a couple of hours, you'll feel like everything's changed for the better. There's plenty of space. No more jamming things in, and no more shifting foods to make a little extra room for leftovers. This beautiful new Westinghouse refrigerator gives you over 12 cubic feet of storage space. And it's such well-arranged space, too, because there's a special place and a special cold for every kind of food. It's a Westinghouse food file refrigerator. Look, here's a big...
Now that is when stuff was made better. Those refrigerators would last forever. Like I said, when me and my wife moved in, or she wasn't my wife at the time, when we moved in here prior to our son being born, this was her grandfather's house. They had an old stove because her grandmother used to bake and cook and everything. A double oven stove, electric stove. Oh, big oven over here and a little, like half a oven with a little door about this big that opened up for another oven. I tell you what, if I could have bought the electric tops on it, I'd have kept it. We didn't have gas down here, so we still don't have gas down here. You got electric or oil heat, and that's it. And if I could have bought those, we'd still have that stove. Oh yeah, the wash and dryer machine, his microwave was actually an old one too, lasted forever. We didn't have to buy them. Oh yeah, he still had the TV set with the legs on it and everything, and the stereo that had the 8-track player over here, record player here, and the built-in radio on legs that you lifted up the lid to get into. All that was here. Oh, most definitely. The stuff was built so much better back in those days. It would last forever. If you could buy the parts, they'd still last. But that was what it was. Now, this one, guys, tell me, everyone in chat, who owned a Slinky?
Slinky toys are fun toys. What walks downstairs alone or in pairs and makes a slinkety sound. A spring, a marvelous thing. Everyone knows it's Slinky. It gives a big lift when wrapped as a gift. A very likable toy. It's falling in place, brings smiles to your face. Something kids can enjoy. It's Slinky, it's Slinky. For fun, it's a wonderful toy. It's Slinky, it's Slinky. It's fun for a girl and a boy. And Slinky mobiles with big slinky wheels and pistons that move as you go. It makes a great sound when you pull it around. The driver's an old-timey fellow. A slinky dog, a slinky train, many more wonderful toys. You tug the string, they do their thing. They're great for girls and boys. They're Slinkies, really wonderful toys. They're Slinkies, they're fun for girls and boys.
Slinky, Slinky Dog, Slinky Mobile, all Slinky toys sold separately by James Industries.
Now, Slinkies, I think probably almost everyone has had a Slinky in their lifetimes. And people were talking about it on here on one of the Throwback Thursdays. They were talking about Slinkies. And when this came up the other day, I had to pick that one up because it's like crazy that Slinkies was a hit like it was. And they just made a lot. You saw the dog and all that stuff. We had them all. And that was crazy, right? Now, here's a car that I believe that I've never heard about before. And it is called the Ford Skyliner. How many of you guys have heard of this car? Take a look.
All you do is pull the control button and the magic starts. First, the Skyliner's longer deck lid opens up wide. Next, the all-steel roof unlocks itself and swings up. The forward panel here folds under, and the top continues to move back, and then down.
All of this sort of makes you wonder what those masterminds at Ford Engineering are going to think up next, doesn't it? The top vanishes completely into the trunk. The deck lid closes down over it. And finally, automatic screws lock it tight into place.
Does anyone remember the Skyliner? That's a big question here because of the fact I do not remember the Skyliner at all. And I am or have been a car guy my whole life. And that I cannot remember for the life of me. And I have got to doing something here, and I don't think it's, I'm not going to find what I want. Yeah. Where's my, there it is. I don't know if I've had that one or not yet, so I'm trying to look at something real quick.
Can you guess these popular 80s movies from just a scene?
Real quick.
Put your movie knowledge to the test in this fun quiz.
But do you guys remember the Skyliner? I don't know if anybody remembers those. Oh, nope. This one, we already did this one. I didn't get something put together, but we're going to try something. We're going to try something new tonight here in a second. Once we get the things done. All right, here's the last one. What do we got here? Nope. 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 That was the last one. Okay, hold on. Let me. Oh, nope, that's not going to work. So we're not going to do it tonight. I did not get it together in time enough, guys, because I went and got my truck and the tires finally put on my truck. Firestone actually paid half of my bill. My tires were $244 a piece. They paid half of it. So I got my tires. I got new Firestone what the hell were they? Trans something HT or no ATs, all terrains for my truck. Big beefy tire. So I didn't get home enough time to get everything put together like I wanted to. So that was a fact, guys. And I didn't get to name that movie clip tonight. So we're not going to have name that movie clip, guys, tonight. There's a Skyliner, a Buick with a retractable. It's actually a Ford, Conrad. With a retractable roof. Some of them had a retractable roof. And I did not know that. So yes, guys, crazy, right? So since I did not get that, I'm going to save the one video that Sean sent me. I'm going to save it till next week when I come back from Terrence Williams. And he sent that to me because I don't want to ruin the fun time that we had tonight. I think it was a fun time going back to this 1910. I told you, we went Throwback Thursday. We went way back, guys. I'm telling you. But, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight and enjoying it. I hope you guys had a great time on tonight's show. Don't forget, I will be gone for a week, but I will be back next week for Throwback Thursday. I'm going to be pushing it, trying to get everything done in like a half a day because I'm not going to get back till late Wednesday, so I'm not going to be able to start until Thursday. And usually I have all the videos downloaded and everything a week prior. This time I'm not going to be able to do that. I've got too much going on my plate right now, so I'm going to have to do it all Thursday morning next week. So please join me for that because then I've only got 3 more shows left, guys. And the following Thursday after that, Monday and Thursday, and that Thursday will be the 250th anniversary celebration and a red, white, and blue Throwback Thursday, as much as I can find of bicentennial stuff. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show, and I'll see you guys next week when I get back from my vacation, because that's all the time we have for tonight, folks. We've covered a lot of ground tonight, and I know it's a lot to think about, but thank you for sticking with me through the hard truth and the fun of our trip back in time. I want to let you all know that we won't be live tomorrow night. I'm heading out of town for a short break to recharge. But don't you worry, I'll be back recharged and ready to roll for our next Throwback Thursday, guys. Yes, I'm going for a little trip for a week, but I'll be back for another episode of Throwback Thursday next week. So have an incredible weekend, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you back here in 1 week. So until then, keep your eyes on the truth and your spirits high. Good night, everyone.